All right, we're live. So, want to start talking about the supplementation I'm taking. The diet's a very, very big piece. It is the base function for everything we're doing. That's why I want to spend so much time on that. The way your biochemistry works is a very tiered way. So, the diet piece, the fat oxidizing state, is obviously the most important piece. And then because of that fat oxidizing state and everything I'm doing, that also dictates supplementation, things that my body specifically needs, the way that my stress levels are, all those things dictate how things are. So a lot of these supplementation, I'm taking more than you're going to need. You might need more than I do on some things. So there's some variation in what you need chemically. But there's some terms that you need to understand. They're chemistry terms. Limiting reagent, which is if you have 5 of this and 5 of this and 2 of that, and you're using them evenly, you're going to run out of the 2. Okay, now you have 3 and 3, and so you can't do any more chemistry because you've ran out of this one thing. So limiting reagents pretty easy. It's the idea of, if you've got a lot of snacks, you got a lot of waters, and you're driving a long car trip, you're going to run out of gas before you run out of food. And so the limiting reagent in that would be the gas, that type of an idea. So that's kind of how we're going to run through this and kind of go through. So there's a couple of things that are super duper important, and people don't give them the credit that they deserve. When you're fasting, and this is another thing, and people have different philosophies, and fine, keep your own philosophy. Mine is that your body can produce ATP, which is your energy function, from your fat. However, it cannot replace CoQ10, methylated B vitamins, omega-3 fatty acids, all those things that your body requires. And so what we see is that we can become, I would say, less healthy over a longer period of fast. If you're going to fast for 8 hours or 10 hours, don't worry about it. But if you're talking about a 2-day fast, a 3-day fast, a 5-day fast, you're going to have to supplement. And if you're worried about losing muscle mass, if you're focused on losing body fat, if you're focused on building muscle tissue, you're going to have to supplement every single day and multiple times a day. So the most important one that you have to worry about is going to be collagen. So, and then this is the one that I take, the Superior Collagen Complex. So, and you can get that at the pillarsofwellness.com website. And then remember, all the stuff that you guys buy off there goes to the charity. The reason collagen is so important, and some of the guys have talked about this here and there. Zoom back in probably. Apparently, I'm going to be blurry for the rest of the time on that one. Great. One of the things that you have to function in is that your body's going to constantly need sugar. And even though your brain's not necessarily running on sugar, it can run on ketones, your muscles can run on fat, your blood has to have sugar to produce ATP. It doesn't have any mitochondria. So what ends up happening is the glucose goes into the cytoplasm, splits into lactate, and produces ATP. That's how that works. Again, ATP is the system we run off of, the power system we run off of. But the problem is that your body's going to get that sugar to go through gluconeogenesis from protein. And it can tear apart your muscle tissue to make the sugar for your brain and for your blood, or you can supply that sugar that your body needs, the proteins your body needs, through amino acids. So like I was talking to Steve Kuklo, and I've talked to a lot of guys who talk about during their cuts, they lose giant amounts of muscle mass. Again, focus on your chemistry and you'll be okay. Taking extra collagen is going to give yourself more amino acids, alanine, glycine, that type of thing, to allow your body to go through what's called gluconeogenesis. Your body can make sugar out of proteins, out of amino acids specifically. And so that's what's going on. So your body tears apart your muscle tissue to get to the amino acids to then go through and make sugar. Well, if you just give your body the amino acids it needs to make sugar, it doesn't tear apart your muscle tissue. That's why the collagen is so important. But guess what else the collagen does? It rebuilds muscle tissue. So, and it uses different amino acids. So you're not sacrificing growth amino acids for sugar production amino acids. So taking extra collagen is going to be fantastic. It also helps with joints, ligaments, tendons, all sorts of things, bones, skin, hair, nails, all of it. Collagen's spectacular. Now, here's the thing. You need to get the ones that are all of them. So this is 1, 2, 3, 5, 10. You need to get all of them. You need to make sure that you're getting the complete complement of essential amino acids. Collagen is going to be your best bet for that. I take about 4 capsules 3 times a day. So as soon as I get here to the office in the morning, right after I get done with my workout, and then right before I go to bed, because again, you're going to regenerate and heal at night. So you want to take this stuff at night. So that's going to be a big piece. Collagen is probably one of the most important ones to take. Make sure you're getting this one in, and you're not going to overdo it. So if you're like, oh, did I take a scoop or 2 scoops? Did I take 3 pills or 5 pills? You're not going to overdo it. I would worry about underdoing it more than overdoing it. That's the other piece where I take my supplements. I run off the 120% rule. Whatever I think my body's going to need, I'll take 20% more than that, because I don't know how much my body's going to need that day. So I just try to make sure I take a little bit extra. That does not go for any fat soluble vitamins. So like my vitamin E, I only take 1 a day. But for the stuff that flushes out of me, all right, I'll just take a little bit extra. So that's the collagen thing. The other big one is CoQ10. So this is the CoQ10 I take. It's CoQ10. Go to the pillarsofwellness.com website. You'll find CoQ10. CoQ10 is really important for a couple different things. One, it's one of the major things that pushes back against the reactive oxidative stress or the free radical damage. It clears up free radicals that are in the blood. It helps push that back against those. But the biggest piece is that it doesn't create any more. One of the reasons that a lot of people create a bunch of free radicals and they have all these issues is specifically because they don't have the CoQ10 their body requires in the mitochondria to make the ATP. Now, again, we're going to go back to that citric acid cycle that everybody's traumatized by, the Krebs cycle everybody's traumatized by, same thing. When you don't have enough CoQ10, your body cannot aerobically make ATP. So instead of making a whole bunch of ATP and very little, if any, free radicals, you make a little bit of ATP and a decent amount, a pretty big amount of free radicals and reactive oxidative stress. So that's why the CoQ10 is so critically important. If you're on a statin drug, it's even more important because, again, statin drugs are designed to damage the liver and tear up your heart health. So get your CoQ10 in, and it's going to help tremendously. It'll help produce that ATP. It'll help push back against all of the free radical damage and reactive oxidative stress. So on the CoQ10, so this one that I use is 200 milligrams per capsule. Most people need 1, maybe 2 capsules a day. So I take 2 twice a day, breakfast and lunch, just because, again, I want to make sure that I have more than I need. If I need 80 to produce all my ATP, then the other 120 I take, okay, great. That's going to go through and that's going to clear up free radicals and do all that type of stuff. So again, I take a little bit more than I might need, but that's on purpose. So CoQ10 and collagen are going to be the 2 that we're going to kind of stick with today. When you guys have questions, hit us up, questions@chalmerswellness.com, or drop them in the comments, and that'll be great. But again, one of the reasons we're doing this is to raise awareness for my charity, treeoflife.health, which hopefully in a couple of days we'll have the website all the way up. But anyway, so the whole purpose of the charity is to use psychedelics and ketamine to break PTSD and addiction in first responders and veterans. So first responders being police, fire, paramedics, that type of thing. What we've seen with this is that substantial and amazing results, breaking down PTSD, breaking down addiction, changing people's lives. And, each one of those deals where if you have stress from your job, if you have stress from your kids, if you have stress from the world, and it's been there a long time, go get evaluated. It's one of those things that it is over time, it's a beating over time, and it destroys your mental peace, destroys your health, destroys your relationships. So go get it checked out, and then, find somebody to do the mental work to get the settings and intentions set up. If you need somebody, contact us. I've got some people who will do that. And then go get some IV or IM ketamine. It's very safe. It's a great way to go. Do some research on that. Everybody to a degree needs it. Some people need it really bad, like they need it today. And some people would just be a really good idea whenever they can get to it. But the vast majority of us need it. I've had it done. Fantastic stuff for me. You guys can find my whole tutorial, everything I've said about that, how it fixed my heart and how it helped, a lot of the issues that I was having with just stress. We've had a bunch of my buddies go through it, tremendous changes. Everybody who's done it has come back and told me that it was the greatest thing they've done ever. Just the difference in the way your mind feels and the stress feels and everything's just kind of calm after that. You go back to your same crazy life, you can just deal with it a lot better. So again, all the purchases of any supplements, the profit from that goes straight to the charity so we can fix these guys and these women. But if you guys have any questions, hit us up, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.